Good morning and welcome to Richard's Home Car Mechanics. It's Sunday morning, it's a lovely day, no rain, which is a bonus, and I've just started up for the first time this Nissan Qashqai, which was bought as a project. It was really smoky. I bought it as a non-runner, got it picked up, and what have I done so far to it? I've fitted a new turbo. I had my turbo reconditioned, I fitted feed and return pipes. While I was at it, I've done the water pump, the timing belt, the auxiliary belt, the oil filter, the air filter, the fuel filter, replaced the EGR valve. I wasn't happy with that. And this is the first start up from cold. Luckily on this, it's got a little bulb that you can prime the diesel. So after a few turns, obviously being a new turbo, I don't want it to start straight away. I need that oil to start feeding that turbo, otherwise that's £400 down the Swanee. So I just give it a quick crank, a few seconds, 3-4 seconds, just to get the oil going. After about, maybe 10-15 seconds, she fired up to life and away she goes. And now she's running sweet. I say the initial issue was she was smoking, and it was very, you could smell a smoke, blue smoke coming out the back. I diagnosed it. It could have gone two ways with these engines. I've never worked on these engines. It could have been the turbo, or it could have been a valve seal, or a problem with a valve. But after a bit of research and a little bit of knowledge that I have got, which is not a lot, but a knowledge I picked up after doing home mechanics since I started home mechanics about 5 years ago, I diagnosed and went with the turbo. Day before it was smoking, and while I had it apart, I cleaned the intercooler out. I've refitted a new aircon condenser, which is like a radiator. All that's been flushed through. All the pipe work's been cleaned. So I was a bit hesitant when I started, because with diesels, when you haven't started them for a while, especially when you've been working on them, they can overrun. If you've had a problem with the turbo, they can start and run on their own oil. It seems crazy, but they can blow up and they'll rev their nuts off. So I was prepared, I had a socket ready, and the only way that I know you can stop it is an engine needs fuel, compression and air. Now what I was going to do, if it started to overrun, you'd soon know that I'd start revving and rev its nuts off. I was going to whip off the air filter pipe and stick a plank of wood, a piece of wood over it. Hopefully that would have stopped it, but thankfully it didn't come to that. But just a note, be aware that when you've done work with a turbo, you must make sure all them pipes are clean of oil and that intercooler, because if that gets into the engine, she could possibly run off the limit and goodbye engine. So basically, let's go and have a look. To say she was a smoker, I'm quite happy with it now. I've let it run for about 15 minutes. I'm just getting it up to temperature, just waiting for the water, thermostat in the water to open up so I can top up with water. Obviously I put fresh oil, diesel filter, fuel filter, I call it diesel filter, fuel filter, air filter and oil filter, all been replaced. So she's good to go. She's got I think about 110, 112,000 miles on it. That's a diesel, so I'm expecting to run this for another 3 or 4 years. Anyway, let's go and have a look and see what's been going down. As you can see, that's the engine. I've had a look round. There's no leaks or anything. That's my first issue. As soon as it started, I just make sure there's no oil leaks or water leaks anywhere. There we go, she's running. Let's have a quick look round the back. And before, there we go. She was smoking quite bad. I mean, literally, this car was puffing out. There you go, oil. When I first started up, I had a bit of a concern. Thinking like, oh, but then I thought, hang on a minute, this has been running oil through this exhaust system for ages. I don't know how long. Thankfully that was just the old oil burning off, and where I'd cleaned the EGR valve out and also basically the EGR valve, that was the vapours from the cleaning solution pumping out. But now, touch wood on the fence there, she's not smoking. So basically the score is now I've got a few more bits to do on her. And let's just go back round the front. Here we go. Right, so basically what I've got to do on here, it's a typical scenario. Someone's lost a locking wheel nut. I hate locking wheel nuts with vengeance. So I've got to whack an old socket off and get them off, because I'm not going to risk Sue or me or the girls going out in it and I'll get a punch out and I get a call, or the AA get a call, and I can't get that wheel off. So I'm going to knock it off and just take the locking wheel nuts off. So if you want to come and nick the wheels, you're welcome if you're that sad. Anyway, I can't understand why people put locking nuts on now. But it's not worth it. Every car has aluminium wheels, alley wheels. Years ago in the 80s, yeah, but not now. Yeah, so basically that. We've got a couple of issues. What's the other thing? The door window's not open on the right hand side. I will do some electrical testing on that, but I suspect it's just the switch is faulty, which is a quick swap over. She's still MOT'd until next year, I believe. So basically, bumper on. I'm going to get my friend Steve Bonnet to come and give me a hand, hopefully. Next week, I haven't asked him yet, but hopefully he will. Steve will come and give me a hand, because that's going to be a bit awkward. I don't want to break any loads. Get the front bumper up, get all the trim on, and drop her on her feet and give her a run. So basically that's it. So hopefully this will be back on the road, and I've already got my next project. It is for Dave. I've got a friend called Dave Warman. He wants a little hand. He's doing most of the work, but if he needs a little bit of advice or help, I'm there to help him. He's got a little scooter. Let's have a look. Got this little ped here that was sort of given to my friend Dave, and we couldn't get it running. So I've spent an hour or two on that and found out it was the automatic choke. That's running. Just a little bit of bits on there. And I've got another little project. Let's put this down. Got another little project indoors, which is a Cobra 50cc pit bike, which is a really good one. It's a 4-stroke. So in the near future, if anyone is interested, it's in very good condition. It's only got 4 hours. It's completely automatic. It's got electric start. That will be going on the market just before Christmas. I've just got a couple of little bits to do to that. Again, you know, if people just can't be bothered. So if you can't be bothered, give it to me. I'll have it and I'll do it. Anyway, you have a nice Sunday there. I'm going to finish up here. Then I'm going to go for a nice power walk to try and get this tummy down a bit more. And I'll speak to you peeps again. Take care and have a good weekend. And we'll see you on my next video of Richard's Home Mechanics. Catch you later, folks.